Yeah, it's your host Reef with your host C. I want to welcome you to a new episode of the Real and Unapologetic podcast. Strap yourselves in because for the next 30 to 60 minutes, it's gonna be one hell of a ride. Yeah, I sound like motherfucker Prince. Yo, let's go. All right. This is the one and only podcast where we talk about the topics that need to be talked about. We say the things that need to be said, the way they need to be said, and at the same time offer real solutions that just might change the way you're thinking and maybe change and bring some sense of some of the craziness that's going on in this world. So, prepare yourselves because we're going to be coming at you raw, hard, real, and unapologetic. Ladies and gentlemen, and podcast lovers, stand up and give a round of applause for your boys, Reef and C.
Well, folks, it's time to kick it old school.
Yo, we gotta find out if C's ready. Yo, C, you ready? Come on, C. I know I'm ready. C, you ready? Come on. Cut.
So today's topic is stop raising them soft ass kids. And
stop.
Yo, for real, that's the shit that we got to get back to, man. Is they stopped that. They canceled that. That was another part of the cancel culture is ass whippings.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. No, wait up.
Wait. Where you want to go?
Yeah, because now I got something to say before we get all into this, because this is gonna show the problem, and it's what we're talking about today is where this shit is coming from, man. And it just happened. I saw this video today, man, and it's not the first video I saw of it, but every time I see it, man, Reef, you don't know how much this shit pisses me off. Just kids randomly walking up to people and knocking them out. What kind of shit is that? Is that some way to prove you a man just by walking? You just walking up to somebody who else, they just strolling down the street, and then you just walking up to them, pow, out of nowhere for no reason.
That's
you know what I'm saying? You know what? Back in our day, man, there was a code, man.
Right.
There was a code. And one
Talk
of the
about the code.
One of the codes was if you was out in the streets and you was doing your shit in the streets, you didn't fuck with older people and you didn't fuck with kids.
You ain't fuck with older kids, right?
Yo, the person they knocked out was like 70 years old. He just walking down the street with his groceries. And
that's sucker shit.
That don't even know him, just walk up to him.
That's that sucker shit. You know
what is that?
That's that sucker shit. I mean, these kids.
That's some bitch ass shit, man.
Nah, but see, the thing is, it's this. Look, man. At the end of the day, I know what you're saying. The shit's, it's sucker shit. But we can't go to the leaf. We got to go to the root. You know what I mean? We can't go to the leaves and go, oh, they riding the leaves, got the brown spots on them.
And that's why I said this is going to lead us into the topic.
Into that, right? You're right.
But not only that, it's just the total mindset that you see in these videos, and then his boys is like turning around. Oh, you knocked them out with one punch.
He's
Nigga,
70.
do that shit in a real fight.
Yeah, but he's 70 on top of that. His knees are weak. You know what I'm saying?
That's some bitch ass shit he did. And if his boys think he did something, they some bitch ass niggas too.
Yeah.
Like he did some real shit. Come on, man.
Nah, you're right, man. 100%. I totally agree with that, because that's some bitch ass moves right there. But that's the kids. That's these kids. Everybody's giving them a fucking pass. Everybody's telling them, yo, you got it. You don't got it.
You don't. The village is gone. The village left.
I like Gary Vee, right? But another thing he's doing, he's fucking also helping fucking, he's kind of like, He's not, I ain't gonna call him a molester, child molester. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say that shit like that. But he's like molesting their minds, basically telling them like, you don't need to know what the fuck you need to do at 25. You don't need to know what to do at 22. You don't need to know what's going on. And Gary Vee, like I said, he's listen, that's his marketing, his scheme. I get it. That's his shit. I'm with him. But on top of that shit, he be lying when these kids, they be 25 tomorrow. You just sleep in your mother's basement. Don't sleep in your fucking mother's basement. Don't sleep in your mother's basement at 30, motherfucker. What's wrong with you?
Exactly.
You know, but and that's what I'm saying. So it's not just the kids, cuz I can't blame the kids, man. You know what I mean? I blame the parents and all the other leaders. What does it say in the Bible? We always going to use the Bible because regardless of whatever religion we are, it's book. It's a book. It's information. It takes a village to raise a child. Mm-hmm. And the village is fucked up. We got the village people.
Young man, there's no need to feel down. I said, young man, pick yourself off the ground. I said, young man.
Raising these fucking kids.
The village is gone, yo.
Yo, it's gone.
The village is gone. You know, I mean, back in the day, you know, you got back in the day. I remember if I fucked up on my block,
right,
I got beat on the way home by Miss Agnes. I got beat on the way by Miss Williams. You know, somebody else's mother is yelling at me out the window for seeing me do some dirty shit. If I jumped on somebody's car or I threw the football and it hit somebody, yo, I got 10 whippings before I got home, and my pops is waiting for me. And your pops, but I'm gonna just point out something real quick. You knew their last names. Look how their last names still stuck with you. See what I'm saying? Yeah. You ain't make up those fucking names. You see what I mean? Those were real names because those people really were a part of your life. They stood out to you, yo. Yeah. The reinforcers, like, we don't got that shit. These kids be calling. I seen Chris Rock, Tambourine, and he was like, he said these kids don't got no respect. They call him Chris. That's good work. He's like, I'm Mr. Rock. Mm-hmm. Not fucking Chris. You know what I mean? These kids don't respect nothing, man. Yeah. They don't. It's the parents making the kids fucking special. It's society telling these kids, and people don't understand. We've been fucking tearing ass up for years. It helped the kids. It helped keeping them in the line and order. People, all that child abuse is all this. Listen, nuns used to do it in fucking church. Pop the kid with the ruler back in the days. They've been doing this shit. Oh, that's child. No, it's not. The kid listened. Didn't they fucking listen? Now you got the kid shooting the fucking teachers. Teachers used to hold the place, every place but the United States. Teachers used to hold a place of reverence. Right. Okay. Back in the day, if my teacher called my parents and was like, you know what, I had a problem with Chad in class today. That was all they needed to hear. And my ass was getting whipped. That's it. It wasn't no, well, I want to hear your side of the story. No, back then the teacher called, yo, Chad was acting up in school today. He wouldn't sit down and he kept yelling out his turn and blah, blah. Yeah. Yo, that was all they needed to hear. They ain't ask my side of the story or nothing. Nowadays, you see it all the time. A teacher called the parents home about a kid, and the parents sit there and curse out the teacher. What the fuck you talking about my kid? Don't you be talking about my kid like that, goddammit? Fuck, I come over there and kick your motherfucking. What is that showing the kid? Yo, God, don't be no power now. Yo, don't be the teacher's power. Yo, no meaning to laugh, but that's dead ass. That's right, cuz real shit. It's crazy. But I seen it though. You seen it in the making. You seen motherfuckers. You were passing by people or even people that you know, and you was like, they fucking them up. And you seen it, fucking up their kids because they'll go, it'd be the mom or something telling the dad, oh, don't yell at him like that. You just took the dad's power. Yeah. Don't yell at him like that. Now you two are arguing. He sees dad has no fucking authority in the house. Then she goes, you not being a dad. You just pulled my shit away. You took away my fucking American Express. This is a big fucking problem, man. I can't blame the kids. And I got to keep saying that because I want to let the kids know I don't blame them. Meaning they take responsibility after you a certain age. And they hear this shit and they watch this episode. They need to do this assessment to themselves and be like, damn,
He right. I shouldn't be talking to my mom like that. I shouldn't be talking to my dad like that. I shouldn't be talking to the teachers like that. I shouldn't be doing none of this shit. Yo, it's the people, man, the village. I'm telling you, it's the village people, motherfucker. YMCA is just a stadium now. Yo, cuz for real, man, you got a bunch of motherfuckers, and no disrespect, man, to the LBGT, but this is real and unapologetic. I say what the fuck I want. No disrespect, but when a kid is being raised by two dads, two moms, that's also gonna set a fucking radar off in the kid.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I don't mean, and I'm not saying the kid can't grow up and be successful, but he's going to have some battles. No different than a kid in a household just with mom. No different than a kid being raised by just a dad. It's no difference. It's unbalanced. You can't have two men and you can't have two women. It's gonna throw some shit off, man.
Yeah.
That's not how the kid was brought in, this motherfucker. Let's start off. So then we stay, because this is obviously a really touchy subject for
get heated in here, yo. Get heated in here.
Because the shit that we see is disrespectful, you know what I mean? And it is. So boom. Loving your children doesn't mean giving them everything they want or all the things you never had. That's a fucking setup right there for the kid. I'm just being real. That's the fucking setup. You set your kid up. I mean, I've experienced it. I've watched other people and their experiences with it. But I've never been like that. So with my kids, I've always, I made them work for fucking everything, man. In my house, it was, and that's to this day, cuz I'm like the strictest parent walks the face of this earth. But my kids can't tell you they out fucking running around, stripping, doing no wild shit like these girls. My son is a freaking little genius. So they'll say dad was strict, but dad was strict for a reason, because I never wanted them to have to go through the shit I went through. So I put them through real life shit in the house, within the house. We used to have court in the house, real shit. But I used to be like, all right, so you don't feel you in trouble? Be like, who you gonna have as your defense attorney? They would have to do, just try to argue out. It doesn't mean you're gonna get off. But I'm showing you in life, you are fucked. There's consequences for all the shit you do in life. Exactly. I'm not giving you no motherfucking hey, no, it's okay. No, because in the streets, it's not okay. When you out in society, it's not okay.
But you see it all the time. And you can say it's the system's fault. You can say whatever. But you know what? Change doesn't come about until you start making the change.
Right.
And then you tell other people about the change so that they can see. But when you give your kid, you just sit there and out of not nothing that they did, but it's out of your guilt.
Your guilt, no doubt.
Me and your father ain't together. I'm sorry. I got you a PlayStation. I had to work. I had to work a double to put food on the table. So I got you 20 video games.
Fuck out of here. Right.
You know what? I was late to your basketball game. I'm sorry, but I had to stay late at work. Nigga, I look at it like this. I ain't got to get you shit. Okay, you got a roof over your head, you got clothes on your back, and you got food to eat.
Okay? Mom, where's all the shit you owe me at, Mom?
That's right. And anything above that is cake for you. Okay?
Right.
But my responsibility as
and
a parent,
you covered.
That's it. You eating every night. You got clothes on your back. You got a roof over your head.
That's
now,
it.
If I gotta bust my ass working 3 jobs to do all of that, then you know what? You're gonna have to sacrifice some daddy time, or you're gonna have to sacrifice some mommy time.
That's real. That's real, man.
Oh, I can't have you home alone. You know what? Here, take this and go party. Here's some money. Go. No. It doesn't work that way. And and like you said, you got to blame the parents because they're reacting off of their guilt.
Off their guilt. Sucker ass shit.
They shouldn't be feeling guilty. But
they don't need to feel.
It's trying to be a friend to your kid.
What the fuck is going on? Like, what's going on? Where did I get? I didn't get the memo that kids were now parents, man. I didn't get that fucking memo that we had to now listen to our children. You know what? One thing, man, let me say this, and I'm gonna say this to the world. My boy told me this. He said, yo, and he's an old school OG. He said, brainwash your kids before they brainwash you. He's an old school OG, and he's the same way with his kids, man. And to this day, son, his daughter, give him total respect. When people will think because your kids respect you, they call you sir, or they have a little fear from disappointing you or disrespecting you. Oh, your kid is this. He's been abused. Nigga, get the fuck out of here. Being abused is when he's smacking you upside your fucking head. Being abused is when he's disrespecting you and calling you out your name. That's abuse. He's abused, meaning if he feels he can talk to his grandmother, his mother, his father, and with such disrespect, mentally he's fucked up, man. But people don't say that. You know what they'll say? Because your kids sit there and your kid just folds his hands. Yo, them kids need to play. Yeah, them kids are playing, but not in here. This ain't the fucking, this is all that glass around motherfucking China. No, this is the store. This ain't got nothing to do with playing in here. Sit your ass down, be patient. When you go outside, there's a playground. That's why they got a playground right there. Honestly, it ain't your son, it ain't your daughter, it's your bitch ass. It ain't, you know what I mean? It's really, it ain't, it's not. It's your ass. You fucking fed this kid this shit. That's why they feel they can do the stuff that they doing. You paying for the phone bill, the kid will sit there and your shit right in front of them, and then you got to call them back 16 times for what? That's your fucking money. They should be like, hey, hello? Did I miss you, mom? I'm sorry. Hey, they should be on fucking, that shit should be like this, tape to they shit. Like this, just as soon as you call, yo. But you watch these parents lose control. They have no control, man. They have no more control because they feel, like you said, they feel guilty. And that's the number one factor right there, because she's a single mother. The dad's not around. And now she feels like, oh, I got to do all this extra stuff you don't have to do that shit. The kid got food, lights, hot water, gas, heat, all that shit. He's covered. Anything extra he gets, he should feel happy. Like, thank you, mom. I appreciate that shit. Not, oh, what happened to my play? What's happened to my game station? What happened to this shit? I ain't have none of that shit. You know, when I got the shit, when the shit was out of style, 5 years later, I got a Super Nintendo. I'm playing shit that motherfuckers were playing already, and I'm happy as shit because I got it 5 years later. Like, yo, Super Nintendo, this shit is tight.
Yeah, and you appreciate it.
I appreciated the shit.
Kids today don't appreciate shit.
I watch it, yo. I'm telling you, I seen
shit. And let me jump back for a second. But maybe about 3 weeks ago, I'm in the store, and this kid, you know, maybe about 4, maybe 5 years old, running around being a kid. The mother sees he's doing wrong, but she's not correcting him. He's just running rampant all over the store. So what does this kid do? He go to a display and he pull out one box from the bottom and the whole display fall. Instead of disciplining the kid, all right, because she done told the kid like 3 times, stop running, stop playing, stop. Kid still did it, pull the boxes. She go and get the manager and blame the manager. Why you got the display like that?
Get the fuck out of here.
Don't you know how enticing that is to a kid?
Get the
Reef. When I tell you, I had to stop and see the whole thing play out. I was like, what? That's too enticing for a kid. Yo, I almost lost it, man.
Where the fuck were these parents at when we were growing up? I feel mistreated, yo. I feel mistreated.
She went to the manager. It ain't like the manager came to her. She went to the manager and said, why is the display like that? You got cookies there. You know kids are that's your kid. If you know your kid got an obsession with cookies, you hold his hand when he walking past that display. And plus you done told him 10 times to stop running in the store and stop playing. That's your fault.
Yo.
But you know what the kid sees? Oh, I don't have to take responsibility for any
shit.
That wasn't my fault. That wasn't my fault. And so that's how they start growing up with this sense of entitlement. You know, like shit is supposed to be given to them.
And see, this is real and unapologetic. So I gotta say the shit real, and I'm being real. That's why, yo. One of the reasons why, and then, you know, we're gonna get on marriage and all that shit in another episode. I'm sure we're gonna talk about all kind of shit. but that's partially why I had to end my shit, man. I don't feel that any parents, you know, like, yo, you put it right here, this shit. Negotiate with your child.
Get
You
the
should
fuck
not
out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Negotiating with a kid, man.
Yo, that's the shit I couldn't deal with, man. Like, I didn't understand this shit. I didn't understand a lot of shit. So I'm from an old school and I just didn't get it, man. And that's why I was like, I used to look at shit like the dog, when you call a dog and he don't really understand his name and he just look at you like this, like, you know what I mean? Fucked up. Like, I don't know what the fuck is, that's how I used to look at my ex, and the kids used to be like, huh? You fucking asking them shit? Like, get the fuck out of here. I used to battle with this, with just the negotiation, watching parents negotiate with their kid. So all right. So if I don't get you the Spider-Man, would you accept the Batman? Because this is all they have. It's like, what? The fuck out of here with that shit. Get the kid the Batman. Don't get him shit. Don't give him shit.
That's the way it is. But they sit there and they negotiate. Oh, Jimmy, you know what? If you sit down in the corner for 15 minutes so mommy can take a little break, I'll give you a nice little treat. Nigga, sit your ass down in that corner and don't get up until I tell you. That's the negotiation right there.
That's it.
You either sit there now or you won't be able to sit down later.
That's what
and that gets me, man, because you got these people talking about don't discipline your kids, you can't spank your kids, you can't do that. See, that's that human conceit again. That is that human conceit. Right. Every other animal species out there disciplines their kids. Right. A mother bear's walking through the woods with her cubs go to eat some berries that's poisonous. What she do? Pop them on the head. Don't eat that. Right. And whatever bear language they say. You know, the lion cub is messing around with the father lion, and the father lion ain't having it because right now he busy surveying the land, making sure nobody creeping into his territory. The kid is playing around too much. Pap, stop that right now. Every other animal species, and don't get it twisted, okay? That's that human conceit again. We are animals.
We are. We fucking animals. You're right.
We are animals. We are part of the animal kingdom. For those who don't know that, okay? But every other animal species disciplines their kids because they need to do that to teach them to survive in that world. If the mother bear didn't teach that baby cub those berries are poison, you know what? He ain't here no more.
Right.
You know what? The lion cub is messing around with the father. He got to understand, yo, if you messing with me, if my attention is on you right now and I don't see this cat coming over the hill, he gonna eat you.
Right.
And they discipline their kids in order to teach them to survive in this world. The same way that we do.
Right.
If I don't beat your ass when I see you run into the street in front of a car, you just gonna do it again. But if you remember that ass whipping, nope, let me put my feet back on the curb.
That motherfucker, right. That ass whipping was hot. Yo. Right.
But that ass whipping also saved your life because you ain't going to do it again.
You ain't going to do it again. Right.
When I say ass whipping, I'm not saying you beating your kid down, but you pop him on the butt. You give him, look. Whenever you learn thing with more than one sense, you tend to remember it. So if you pop a kid and you fussing at them, they're going to remember the pain that was associated with it. Right. They're going to remember the tone. All right. That's why, a lot of black families say, you get that look from your parent, and that's all that's said.
That's all I said, because you remember that look was associated with that ass whipping.
That's right.
Right. So you only have to give 1 or 2 out.
So how are we supposed to teach our kids to survive in this world? And don't get it, it's a rough world out there. Yeah. It is a rough world. And if you don't teach them those survival skills, they're not going to make it.
They're not.
So you know what? If I got to pop you to keep you from running out in the street again, you know what? That's a decision that I have to make it, and I'm gonna make it every time. And you got to be comfortable with it until you learn it.
Right, but the parent has to be comfortable with doing this They have to be, and the parents are not comfortable anymore because, again, another fuckery that went on in America, they stripped that. We've been on point. African Americans been on point with raising their children. Now, were we fucked up in a way where we were trauma because of the situation we lived in, being poor, like we talked about before in another episode, I think one, about, it being traumatizing and being poor? Yeah, but as far as raising our children, the kids was on point. The only time we lost kids, real shit, back in the days, was in not even the kids, like was it during a drug game. Nowadays, you got little kids shooting kids, you got kids shooting adults, killing their parents. Remember the fucking kids, them twin brothers that killed their fucking mother and father.
I'm saying the code changed. There ain't no code anymore.
Yeah,
because
but it's not.
Even back then, we grew up during the crack era. All right. Even back then, there was a code. If there was kids around and your beef was across the street, you know what? You had to settle that beef another day instead of just firing across the street.
That was the code. I catch you and you knew you was lucky. Damn, I missed out on this. I'm sorry, man. I'm built a different way, and it's a lot of shit that's pussy. That's why a lot of people don't get along with me, because I'm not afraid to be like, you acting pussy. You know what I mean? You're a real pussy and shit. And it's okay. So I get it. If you comfortable with being a pussy, I'm comfortable with you being one, but just don't be around me with that shit. I don't want to see it. No, real shit. I don't want to see it because it offends me. You know what I mean? Because real shit. It's just watching people blame kids for shit that they did. That's the shit that's disappointing to me, is how can you blame the kid for some shit you instilled in them? Mm-hmm. You embedded that shit in the kid to teach him the shit you're doing. So when the kid goes, I'm not answering the phone, that's your shit. That's your problem. When the kid steals from you, that's your fucking problem. Again, as a parent, that's your problem. You know what I mean? It's not the kid problem. You can't go, oh, I didn't teach him to steal. Well, you didn't not teach him to steal either. Mm-hmm. You didn't teach him to steal, but you did not teach him to steal. So when he does it, he did not fucking know what the consequence was. Mm-hmm. You can't be mad at him. And I tell my kids, there's consequences in society, so I'm not going to excuse consequences. I could never. Dad, you're too hard. Man, I remember one time my daughter comes up, man, she's fucking probably like, what is she, maybe 8? Comes upstairs, boom, smiling. She, Dad, I'm like, what's up? This boy cussed at me. He called me all these names, whatever. And I'm like, huh? I said, who? So, as a parent, I'm like, who? I'm getting ready to go talk to the kid and talk, see what's going on. Because this is how I'm from the village, the real village. We going to talk to the kids, talk to their parents, say, what's up? What's going on? Because my kids don't cuss. Not that I knew at that moment. Mm-hmm. So 10 minutes later, doorbell rings, the buzzer joint, intercom. So I go get it, little soft voice, Mr. Dyson. I'm like, hello? Yeah, this is Jacob. I'm like, so, hey, what's going on? He's like, so I go let him in. Like, yeah, LaShae cussed at me. I said, huh? I said, what'd she call you? She called me the F word, this and this, and all these words. And I said, all right, thank you. Now, I'm not from this new generation. I'm not from this fucking era, cuz when I look back on it, was I hard on my daughter, man? My ex-wife at that time, she had to she was like, all right, that's enough. You got to stop. But I tore her ass up. What I tell you, I'm being real with you. I tore her ass up, man. It was just, I don't ever wanted the shit that she said to him. I'm wondering where the fuck, but I just wanted to clear it out of her.
Right.
See what I'm saying? The stuff that I heard, I said, you will never see this poison again. And that's what the ass whipping was for. And right now, my daughter's like a princess, man. She ain't gonna ever, I'm sure she's gonna try, but she will never disrespect any elders, talk in front of them, disrespectful. Nah, never. Never. And I could say that, I guarantee that my daughter will not do that ever. She might get with her friends and say, little, friends do shit together. Oh my God, whatever. But when it comes to adults, and get the fuck out of here. Let my daughter to this day, let her right now come on. I'm gonna remember. Hey, I'm gonna do it. You remember? I'm gonna give it a remember shit. Like, stop playing. I set rules, I set expectations, and I demanded the shit. I didn't give them an offer up, motherfucker. Like, hey, if you give me this is what it was. And if you don't like it, there's several other houses you can go to in the neighborhood if they take you in. And your friend, you think, trust me, his dad ain't gonna want you over there either.
That's right. And if they, and I used to add this to it. I'm like, okay, if you're not happy here, you know, feel free to go.
Right.
But just know that you're going to leave everything that you got in here. I might, I'll let you walk out with the clothes on your back, but everything else I paid for. Everything else belongs to me.
Right.
You know? And my son might be mad at if I tell this story, but he even tells me to this day, he was like, "Yo, Dad, that was a great lesson that I learned that time."
That's real. That's real though.
One time, my son, I think it was about his grades, and I'm not just talking out of my head. My kids, and just so the audience doesn't know that we talking out the side of our necks on this parenting tip. All right, my son is a junior at Howard University, chemistry major with 3.0 GPA.
Right.
My daughter graduated New York Institute of Technology, summa cum laude, 3.8 something GPA. Right now she's in the accelerated nursing program at Rutgers. All right. So I'm using this as proof.
Right.
That when you raise your kids a certain way, regardless of what's going on in the streets,
they excel.
Regardless of what their friends are doing, you're gonna have some successful kids.
Right.
You come on, you nursing, you write your own ticket with nursing now. Chemistry degree, that's you write your own ticket.
No doubt.
You know, so we're not talking out the side of the head like, oh yeah. And if you want to know, our kids is doing well.
Right.
Our kids are doing well because we stuck to it. We did.
Right. You stuck to it.
And I'm always straight up with my kids. I told my kids when they were young, and if I was fussing at them or whatever, look, I'm your dad. I'm not here to be your friend.
Never.
Okay. Now, if we end up friends, yo, that's good. That's great.
That's great. Right.
My responsibility is not to be your friend. My responsibility is to make sure that you're able to grow up and be responsible, take care of your business, and handle anything that comes at you.
Right.
That's what I'm supposed to teach you.
Right.
We become friends, great. If not, you'll understand when you're older in life and be like, yo, you know what? Pops was right.
Right.
You know?
Nah, real shit.
And I told him that from probably when they was 5 or 6 years old. Yeah, Dad's a fun guy to hang around, but when it's time for business,
it's business.
It's time for business.
You know what I mean? It's just about being firm, fair, honest, and demanding, man. And people have to understand this. If you stick to this, because if you stick to that, your kid will respect you. Even like you said, they may not be your friend. My kids, everybody's not my friend. Just some that love talking to me, and there's some that be like, I can't stay at his ass. And I know that. But they ain't on the streets. They ain't out stripping. They ain't wilding out. They know what they want out of life. They know that they got to hustle. They know they got to work for it. They know ain't nobody handing them shit. And like you said, we stuck to a code because what we learned, that's why we pass it on to our children, because we learned this is not what you're going to do. You ain't going to be fooling around, wilding out, doing all this wild shit.
It was funny because I remember back when the Giants won the Super Bowl, Tom Coughlin said the same. That's how he coached the Giants when they came to their first camp when he was the coach for the first year. That's what he told them. That's okay, the code I believe in. And I was like, wow, maybe I can hang out with Tom. That sounds like me, you know. But being firm is not beating your kid down.
No.
But being firm is just that if you got a set of rules, if you got 10 rules in your house, you're going to stick by all 10. You ain't doing, I'm only doing this 7. No, these are the rules of the house. These are all 10. That's being firm. And when you stick with it and you're consistent with that message, that's being firm. I'm not saying being firm, you got to beat your kid every day.
No.
I'm just saying you do not compromise those rules. You do not compromise the values and stuff that you set in your house.
Right. You don't compromise. Right. No compromising. Right. There we
and
go.
being honest, look, I tell my kids all the time, look, I'm not the dad that's going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear.
Right. That's it.
Okay, there's a big difference.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
And keeping it real, the best part of American Idol is when them people come up saying they getting ready to sing and they sound like a fucking bag of screaming cats. You know,
I'm gonna tell you, right.
That's because their parents is like, oh, baby, you can sing. You got the most beautiful voice. Oh my goodness. You need to go on American Idol, baby. Come on, you know your kid can't sing. Why you doing that to them?
Well, they give them and this is bullshit. I'm saying this, and I'm telling you it's bullshit, disclaimer shit, but they giving them a chance at life because they know they suck. And, you know, they just giving them a chance to be like, I'm not going to stop you from doing some shit, but you should tell the fucking kid the truth and be like, yo, you fucking suck. Don't.
Right. You can still be nurturing when you do it. You just don't come out, baby.
But that's
that. You need
that's
to be
that shit you talking about.
You know,
right.
You don't have to come out and be like, fuck that, baby. You're singing it. You can be like, you know what? I hear a few things in your voice. You know what? Maybe we could go to somebody and they can correct it. If you really want to sing, you know, let's work on it. Let's do this.
Right.
You know, if you know your kid can't sing, why are you sending them on Idol so they could be embarrassed nationally?
America, stop setting their ass up.
Seriously, man. Why are you doing that? That's being honest with your kid. Now, on the same note, when you're doing good, I'm going to heap all the praise on you. You know that? I'm going to tell you that you're doing good. But when you fucking up,
I'm going to tell you fucking up.
Just as honest as you are with that praise, you got to be honest with that. Yo, you fucking up.
Right.
Here are the consequences. If you don't correct this.
And the thing is, and the kids need to know this. If you happen to be fucking up more than you're getting praises, change your behavior. Just real shit. No, real shit. Because sometimes they may feel like they're getting more. Like I used to tell my kids, and oh, you on me more. It's because you keep doing more shit. I'm not choosing you. You chose you. Every time you think to do some dumb shit, it ain't me. I don't go out and go, all right, let me set my little kid up, write some shit, set him up. No, you set yourself up and I have to correct it. I don't fucking go out seeking the shit though. So sometimes kids get confused because they think, you know, like you got two kids, or, you know, and one might think that you're on them more because one is just doing more shit. That's it. Mm-hmm. And that's what the kids need to understand. So parents are not, and I want the kids to understand this, parents are not coming down on you because they're choosing you, they don't like you. It's because of your behavior. Your behavior is setting the alert off that they have to correct. You know what I'm saying? No different than your phone. Every time you get a fucking beep, hey, you got to check it. They got to check you. Every time you go and alert them, they got to check you. That's all it is. It's not fucking personal. And people got to stop that shit. Raise your fucking kids, because I'm tired of them being out here and fucking Gary Vee talking to these fucking 25-year-olds talking about you don't need to know what the fuck you're doing. Making everything easy for your child does not prepare them for the real world.
That's right.
It doesn't.
The world is not easy. Who said the world is easy?
That's a lie.
Why are you trying to lay out the red carpet for your kid? Why are you trying to hide all his problems? You know, why are you taking care of shit that should be his responsibility? You know, that doesn't make it, that shit doesn't fly in the real world.
Right.
You know, if you fucking up at the job, how long you think you're gonna last? Same rules apply here.
Same shit applies, man.
You know, when you get out into the real world, you like, oh, but wait a minute, my mom used to do this. How you gonna look saying that shit at work? Well, when this happened, when I used to mess up, I used to have my mom used to cover it up for me or clean it up for me.
But yo, you say that funny, but these fucking kids that grow up to be young 20-year-olds, I had this 20-year-old out of Atlanta working for us, for the company, right? I call him. He's supposed to be on site at like 2:00. I landed on a flight. I was somewhere else. So my partner calls me. He's like, hey, your guy's not here. You know, he's not. So I'm like, all right, what's going on? I call him. This kid told me, this is his excuse, yo. My roommate's sick. The fuck was I supposed to do with that?
My roommate is sick.
Yo, serious. This is what he said. My roommate is sick.
That's crazy.
Yo, you don't know how bad I felt. I had to like respond, you know what I'm saying, quickly and talk to my partner and be like, look, listen, we're gonna get somebody out there. It just made me look like shit, the whole company, and yo, that was it. He was finished after that. I mean, never got another project from me. But that's the shit that we're raising. Pussies that give you pussy ass excuses. At least when we gave excuses back in the days, there was some fucking real excuses.
Yeah.
I mean, it was something, it was a real story. You know what I mean? It was a real story that your parent would have to look into, or your boss had to really look into and think about and go, damn, maybe that shit did happen. Not my roommate's sick. Like, that's that entitlement shit that you feel like it's okay to say to somebody you're working for, my roommate's sick. Like, I'm supposed to go, fuck, man, sorry to hear that. When he tell him, I hope he gets better. What the fucking no?
Well, you a nurse or something? What you gonna do? Your roommate? What?
You can't work because of that? What type of shit is that? So, yo, I told you, this problem is creating all kind of other fucking issues. And you got a lot of idiots out here. Like I said, Gary Vee is my boy. You know, he makes sense on a lot of other shit, definitely. But when he be talking to these kids, oh, you don't need to know. They need to get their shit together. 25 years old, you don't need to be sleeping in your mother's basement. Unless your parents are older and you're going to take over the house eventually, and you're saving money to buy a house. Something, you got to be doing some shit if you're in your mother's basement. But don't just be in your fucking mother's basement. You know what I mean? And I hear him say this shit to these kids, and that's the problem I don't like, man, is that these kids are going to grow up. They're going to be the doctors and stuff that we're going to deal with one day. That's going to have to help. And I'm going to be scared as shit.
Yeah.
Like, did you just watch YouTube tutorials, motherfucker, and that's how you pass? Because I'm going to tell you another story. Another 20-year-old girl, like 20, nurse. I had my blood drawn. Yo, 6 fucking times, yo. She had, we got fucking veins, cuz.
Yeah.
We got veins in here, see. 6 times. Yo, I stopped. I said, real shit. I looked at her. I said, how long have you been a nurse? And she's like, a year. I said, I could tell. Yo, serious, cuz I looked at her. I was like, get the fuck. I said, I need somebody else. The lady came in. I told her, old school lady, boom, popped me one time. She's like, I don't see how she couldn't get you. I'm talking about, I got fucking veins looking like Wolverine in my shit. And you couldn't pop, 6 times. And she ain't just do one arm, cuz she was I'm like, what the fuck? That YouTube shit. Yo, kids, parents, stop fucking telling your kids that they special. They not special unless you make them special, unless you educate them, push them, create something special. You can't just tell them they special when they not fucking special.
Just rewarding kids for shit that they supposed to be doing.
Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Come on, man.
That shit just drives me crazy.
Nah, this is the episode. We're gonna call this episode "Get the Fuck Out of Here."
Man, yeah, get the fuck out of here with that. I tell my kids, I was like, the way the school system is designed, if the average kid does what he's supposed to do, he gets an A.
Right.
So you've proven to me that you're way above average. So I'm not going to, unless granted graduation, you come home with all A's on your report card. You know what? You might get a little something out of me.
Right.
But for the most part, you're supposed to get A's in school.
Yo.
How am I going to reward you for that?
Yo.
If your job is to sweep streets, and don't get it twisted, school is your job when you're a kid.
That's your fucking job. That's the only thing.
Only responsibility.
That's the only fucking thing.
Okay, so if your job is to sweep streets, and you swept the street, and me as your boss, am I supposed to give you a bonus for doing what you were supposed to do? That's your job.
You're already getting what you already getting paid.
That's
you
right.
Don't get you don't get no fucking bonus unless You want to get promoted and you fucking, I mean, and even as a kid, you could be promoted in the household when you stepping up and doing extra shit. You taking care of extra shit like, hey, dad, I'm gonna take care of cooking. Don't worry, I'm gonna cook for you. And you stepping up, I might fucking slide you a little 50. Yo, go handle that. You know what I mean? Go out with your friend. If you stepping, but if you doing your basic shit, making your bed, going to school, that's regular shit, man. You ain't fucking doing no, you come home and the house is painted, I'll give you some extra shit.
That's right. But you saying, Mom, I cleaned my room.
Get the fuck out of here.
That's your job.
That's your job. I make my bed every fucking day. I don't get no extra shit.
Clean my room. Can I get that PS5? Are you kidding me?
Right. Make these kids work for these. Man, that's the fucking problem, man. Now that you got Cash App, kids be getting fucking loot, yo. Serious. Yeah. With the Cash App, you don't even understand how this shit is. It's off the hook. These kids is getting paid. Yo, I be seeing shit and I'm just like, I hope they got a great work ethic. I hope when that kid get older, because they don't understand. Parents don't understand. You're setting your kid up for failure. You're giving them shit that they're not going to be able to provide for themselves. They're not going to be able to provide it for themselves because they didn't work for the shit. And unless you work for something, do you understand how to appreciate that shit? Exactly. You don't have and unless you have appreciation for it, you fucking going down. Real shit.
Yeah.
Because it ain't yours. You didn't work for it, so you don't understand what the fucking makeup is of it. Like, yo, I got to take care of this. You build something from scratch, you're going to fucking cherish it. And when you just get it handed to you, you don't fucking appreciate the shit. And then when it comes time and then your mother's looking at you and you fucking 30, hey, you need to get your ass up. And you should have did that when he was 3. You don't wait till the fucking dude is 30. That's not a kid no more. That's a dude. You don't wait till she's 20. You do it when she's 2. Yo, I'm gonna tell you, man, I was gonna wear military shit, right? I had the fucking Navy SEAL hat, this green shit, because they used to call me militant. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, you been in the military? I'm like, nah, but you be militant. I'm like, listen, the way this world works, you have to prepare your kid to fucking live in it, and it's not fucking easy. This is how I look at it. My kid, I tell my kids this: 18 years when you with me, it's not about fun. 82 years, you live on your own. So for 18 years, I have to teach you how to live out in your own for 82 years of your life. You know what I'm saying? Granted, you give 100 years. 18 of those years, you at home. I'm gonna teach you how to and prepare you for life. 82 of those, you good. You can have as much fun as you want. And I used to tell them this. I said, you need funds before you have fun. You got to build yourself up, and then you can go do all the shit you want to do. My ex, you spoiling their childhood. I said, listen, they're kids, but they need to learn now. I get it. You don't understand. I said, but trust me, when they get older, they're going to thank me. They're going to sit there. They're going to go, damn, Dad was great. He pushed me. He made me read I used to make them read at the kitchen table, man. Fuck. They used to be like, cat in the hat. You ain't reading that shit. You better read my magazine, read my book. Dad, I don't understand these words. Pronounce them. I'll help you. I'm right here. I can help you with this. Just pronounce it.
Kids respond to what they see.
Right.
Okay, you can sit there and preach to them all day long, but if you're not doing what you saying, what you telling them, you just lost your credibility.
Right.
You know,
right.
I'll tell a little funny story, but yo, Shay, it's been years. You probably don't even know that I got the cheap guy moniker on me. But it's not even about being cheap. It's just that
I got that shit too.
Right. You know, I'm just like, yo, that shit.
Frugal. It's frugal.
Yeah. That shit just don't make sense to me. But so for every time, and this is how much kids watch you. Okay. Now my daughter was probably about 4 or 5, and she could read since she was 3. Nice. Right. So we go into the store, right? And she grabbed me by my hand and was like, Daddy. And I'm like, yeah. She's like, they got your favorite. I'm like, huh? What you talking about? They got your favorite over there, the favorite clothes you like to wear. And I'm like, what? Clearance. Clearance, Daddy. Yo, yo,
Oh shit, bro.
that
Yo,
man.
man.
Kids are watching everything that you do.
They're absorbing everything, right?
They're absorbing it. They like little sponges.
Like
So when
sponges,
you the
right?
type of parent, when you the type of parent that gotta go out and you gotta get the Gucci and you gotta get the Louis and you gotta get all of this, but you ain't got milk and food in the house. You don't think your kids don't see that?
Yo, real shit.
Don't think your kids don't see that?
Yo, real shit, man.
You
That's
know?
real. That's real. No. That's funny. That's a funny story, man. Clarence, they got your favorite clothes, Clarence. That's some funny shit.
Yo, that's where I always went. I go into Macy's. I go wherever I go. I'm looking for the clearance rack.
Right. Cuz listen, man, that is frugal. And what America doesn't know, but before you see all these celebs, trust me, that's what they're doing. You know, and the stuff that you see them in, that shit was given to them. They're advertising for those companies. Granted, people will spend money on certain shit, but they're not doing a lot of foolish shit that people who don't have go and do because they want to copycat some shit that they cannot really copycat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can copycat and trace a motherfucking coloring book. If your account don't look like fucking Denzel Washington account, you should not be buying those suits. You know what I mean? That you can't afford the shit, so don't do it. But again, like you said, your kids are paying attention to all this. People got to pay attention. It's funny you say that because I'm the same way. Frugal. My ex-wife used to say that, like, you are cheap. I'm like, listen, it's frugal. I said, I ain't never gonna be without.
That's right.
I know what it feels like to be fucking without. I don't want that shit. I know what it feels like to be without milk and fucking water. Water, motherfucker. Water's free, and I had no water. Fuck out of here. So I will never go through that shit. And you can say whatever you want to call me, but I won't ever be in that situation where you got to come and say, oh, I'm all out of this cash. You know why? Because you keep buying all that other shit. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And the kids, you keep giving them shit. Hey, don't give them that. They came to me already, and I said, no. They came to you because you the fool. You know what I mean? They knew you were going to go, oh, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah. I went, Mom, can I have this, $50 for this? You didn't ask no questions.
Yeah.
I ask questions. What do you need $50 for? Well, my friend, that's it. You fucked up right there. Your friend, I ain't paying nothing for your friend.
Yeah.
I ain't paying your friend's expense. Just hey with the shit. I don't do that shit. You told me some other shit. You should have made a lie up. I need $50 for some shit at school, the book. I'm definitely with that. You said your friend, I'm done. You don't even got to come to me no more. That's like you said, man. They're watching every fucking thing you do. They're learning, and people don't realize that shit. They're studying you, and they're gonna fucking recreate exactly what you do. They're gonna be a duplicate, a model of you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I tell my kids, I'm not afraid if you become just like me, and you got a little asshole in you, because I got a bit of that. Mm-hmm. And you got an incredible work ethic, and you work hard. I said, I'm not afraid of that shit. You know, I'm grateful for that. And you might not get to call me all the time because you're busy and you're working and you're building. I'm gonna be happy with that because you're gonna be doing well, and I'm happy with you doing well. But guess where I'm gonna be fucking? What's gonna hurt is that if you fail, and I gotta watch you fail, and I gotta watch you suffer. That doesn't make a parent proud. So like I tell parents, stop fucking doing all that baby shit, because at the end of the day, when that kid is there and they fail, that's when you're gonna be hurt the most. Never mind feeling guilty for the shit you're not giving. What about the shit that you're gonna wish you should have did for them? And it's too late because they're 45 and they're like looking at you like, I need your fucking bill paid. You can hate me now. Nas made that song for me as a parent. You can hate me now. Trust me. You'll love me later. You'll thank me later. You'll be like, Dad was an asshole. Mom was right. Dad was an asshole. Definitely. But you were doing well, and you're not fucking doing all this crazy bullshit out here. No, you see these girls on fucking IG? These little, where the fucking parents at for this shit? These kids that are on here, what the fuck is wrong with this world, man? Will Smith is my boy. I like Will Smith, man. Great actor. But I didn't understand the dresses he let his son wear, because I had a problem with my son doing that shit, right? Mm-hmm. So we in the store, we in Macy's, and it just so happened to be me, black man, this Nigerian guy, African dude, an Asian dude, a white dude. So I'm back there, boom, my son. I'm like, yo, pick up some things. He looking at little jackets and stuff. I'm like, get you a little suit jacket or something. You know what I mean? Something cool. Bottom line is, he gets this fucking long ass shirt dress thing. So I said, what you doing with that, man? And he's like, oh, Dad, this is the style, you know, Will Smith's son. I said, this ain't Will Smith's son. You ain't Will Smith's son. This ain't what we doing. And so luckily the guys were there. Yo, they started chiming in on the conversation, like, and we just started talking how men dress. So I had to check my son, and I told him, I'm like, we don't wear dresses, man. Men don't wear dresses. I said, that's not what we do. I said, I get it, fashion. I said, but they're pushing things to desensitize you so you can start doing other shit. You don't realize once you start getting a dress, you don't wear no goddamn dress, man.
Yeah, that shit is not happening in my house.
Yo, this is what I'm trying to tell you. This is the shit. And
It's not happening in my house. My son is 20 years old. All his friends can walk around sagging. If I walk past, I'm telling all them niggas pull their pants up. And my son know his ass better not be sagging.
right.
And me, the mentality. I mean, you can sit there and you can tell these guys how that sagging shit got started.
How it got started.
They don't give a shit.
They don't give a shit.
When you walking around with your pants sagging, that was cats in jail basically saying, yo, this booty is available.
Right. That was it. Yo, they started giving tickets out in Virginia for that shit. They were doing that to try to stop it. They were giving tickets out in VA for that, man. So what I want to say to parents is, when you have a man that's raising your children right to be successful as a man, to be an adult, to have respect for women, to have respect for himself, to have respect for elders. He's not out here punching kids. You don't get in the way of it. I don't care how much you hate that man, how mad you at that with that man. If he's a great dad, you let that father be a father, man. And that's the problem that we have in this world. And white America's assisting Black women to destroy the households because, and I'm not saying that the men are not responsible, because you got men that are losers and they walk out, but you got a lot of women that are leaning up against it, like to cuddle up with it and be like, all right, let me cause problems, you know, because the system is going to help me. They're going to help me tear this man down. And all you're doing is destroying your household, because now that boy got to watch that father go through all this shit, whatever it is. Or that's not what you want to do. And the parents don't want to do that shit, because it's going to end up fucking that kid. You'll end up having a fucked up household, meaning your children, because they're going to have to watch this. So we should not involve ourselves with a system that was not created for us. That system wasn't created for us. And as Blacks, we can do a lot better. We can talk and discuss things and mediate ourselves and get together, because we were better before all this changes and shit. I remember, because I grew up in a single parent household, and even with my dad being homeless, real shit, my mom never allowed me to disrespect my dad, and he was a homeless man. Every time he comes, she'd be like, your dad's there, boom. That was the respect I had. I would cook for him. I didn't lose because he was homeless. I'm gonna look him up and down. What the no? I wouldn't be here without him.
Exactly.
So I had to respect him regardless of who he was and what he was made up of. That's why I blame the parents, because they wouldn't have any respect for the man. The kid would see that and they would have no respect for the man. My mom had respect for my dad regardless of his circumstances. He was already beat, and like they taught us, you don't kick somebody when they're already down.
The village got soft too. The village is living in fear of these kids now.
Yeah, I told you that. Yeah,
true story, man. I'm on the train one day. I went to the city and I'm on the train. The train is doing, it's like rush hour. Train is packed. And there's this brother sitting on in the seat. You know, on the subway, they got the 3 seats together by the door.
Yeah.
He's sitting in the seat, and he got the crazy spread going out. So he taking up all 3 seats. He got the mean mug on his face. He got his earphones in. He bobbing hard to whatever he listening to.
Right.
So he doing that intentionally. I'm thinking, yo, this cat is soft. He's doing all of this because he's uncomfortable around a crowd of people. So he's doing all of this to make sure nobody gets around him. But at the same time, holding on to the pole right in front of him, and like I said, the train was packed, was this lady, Black lady. She had to be probably in her 80s, she looked like. She's in her 80s with a walker holding on to the pole. Barely holding on to the pole. And he's sitting there taking up 3 seats like this. I wasn't mad at him I was mad at everybody around him because until I got onto the car, I was the only one to speak up. I was the only one that I went to him, and I ain't come at him crazy. I came at him out of love, and I was like, yo, my brother, you see this lady right here, she got a walker, she's barely holding on, and you took up 3 seats. Now he looked at me, he took that, what? What's up? I said, the lady needs to sit down and you taking up all the seats. He gonna look me up and down. I'm like, look, dude, this could be your mother, this could be your aunt.
Right.
Treat the lady with some respect. She's made it to this age. You gotta just respect that.
That's it.
You know, but everybody else is around because he got the mean mug on, because he bobbing all hard and looking all mean. Look,
I don't mean shit.
Like I said, Reef, I am not afraid to die. If I'm dying for something right, you know what? Blow me away right there. But that lady gonna have a seat after they lock you up. After they lock you up and stop the train and pick me up off the ground, she gonna have a seat. But that's the disrespect. The code is gone, man. Yeah. I can't imagine growing up being a kid and sitting on the train and the elderly lady standing right in front of me, and I'm not, miss, let me give you my seat. The code is gone, and you got to blame that on the parents.
It's always been the parents' responsibility. It's always been the village's responsibility. And just like you, as one of the village men, you did with the right thing, what you were supposed to. But that's how we were brought up. If grandma was at the top of the corner, grandma got out of the cab or the corner and they got bags, I don't give a shit what I was doing. If a football could have been coming right here and I seen that, I had to let the football go and run my ass up the street before she get down there and my mom say something. I had to grab them bags. That was the code back then. We were made up of something. Nowadays, it's not made of anything. So when something's not made of nothing, it's bland. It has nothing to it. There's no substance to it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the real abuse. You're stripping them of shit, man. People don't see this. So what they do is they keep doing it. They keep talking about it because you got millions of motherfuckers that agree with the same dumb shit. And they're doing it. So that's why they go, oh, Susan and Keisha and everybody else believe I'm doing the same shit. And you're wrong because you're too hard on the kid. Listen, that's why I stopped arguing, cuz that's why I don't give a shit. And I care about my kids, but as far as when the parents and some parents personally, I'll tell them this shit personally, and they know I say it to them all the time. You baby the fucking kid, stop babying them. Then you're gonna make them pussies, and when they grow up and they amount to nothing, you can't say it's the kid's fault. It's not just money, and a lot of people, that's their fucking mindset now, is that they think it's money that raises a kid. Money don't fucking do shit for a kid. I'm gonna be honest, I was broke, but I still have morals and values and respect for older elders. And we were broke growing up. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We were poor growing up, but I still respected my elders because I was taught with the fucking code.
That's right.
I was taught with code, respect. You don't talk when somebody else, adults, are talking in a room, you shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You don't talk back and go, well, wait till I see kids do that shit. Talk back to the elders. I'm like, the fuck is smack that motherfucker in his mouth.
Exactly.
Smack him in his fucking mouth for real. Because if you don't do it, I'm gonna do it. You see a lot of disrespect, man, and it's because the code has been stripped. And like I said, I don't want to blame everything and say, hey, white America said, but I remember when they allowed that DSS shit into the fucking, hey, if your mother and father's big and I tried that shit with my mother. Real shit, real story, yo. Tried that with my mom. I wanted to go to Jay's house. One weekend, and she wouldn't let me go. So I said, this is child abuse, right? This is serious. My mom looked at me. I wish I could get my mom on the phone right now, right? She looked at me. She said, well, go ahead and call them, but before they get here, you're going to be dead. You know what I mean? So she told me to go reach for the phone.
That's the standing line.
That's the standing line, yo. And the thing is, I ain't never said that shit again. I never thought about child abuse again. I never and this was what the school was putting to me. I'm a kid. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking this is right because this is education, right? So I'm thinking, oh, they educating me. What they were really doing is fucking up households. Mm-hmm. They wasn't teaching us anything real. You know what I mean? It wasn't anything real that a value that we, huh?
They taking away your parents' power.
Taking away the parents' power. Right.
You know?
Right. That was a whole setup. I remember when that happened back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Back in the 80s, during crack came in, that DSS shit, they pushed hard into they fucked up households.
What me and Reef are talking about is disciplining your child. We're not talking about child abuse. What happened is that
Right.
now the government comes in and the schools come in, and now people don't see the difference between discipline and child abuse now. Okay, discipline. If I pop my kid on the butt because they did something wrong, that's discipline.
That's discipline.
All right. If I'm beating my kid with an extension cord with the iron attached, that's child abuse. Okay.
Hey,
that's
well, listen, I got abused a little bit.
Lips,
right.
You know, if I'm leaving bloody lips and busted noses and broken ribs, that's child abuse.
Right.
Popping you on your behind is not child abuse, okay?
Right.
But they blurred the line. So now whenever somebody hear, oh, he disciplines his child, automatically it's child
abuse. Right. That's the alert that goes off.
They brainwashing the kids, because my kids tried that on. I was like, look, if you don't straighten this out, the next time I have to say something, I'm gonna bust your ass. But they said, and if you hit me, I'm gonna call the police.
That was been
And I was like, what? That's right. You can't hit me. If you hit me, I can call the police on you. And you know what I told them? I was like, okay, you call the police, but I guarantee you, I'll be out of jail before you get out the hospital. Not let your kids take that power away. Now, if I would have stuttered and I would have been like, "Oh, no, don't call the police." All right, no, it's all right. All right, we'll figure something else out.
Get the fuck out of
My
here,
power
man.
would have been gone.
Your power would have been gone, man.
That I'm willing to go to jail to raise them the way I believe they
should be raised. Right.
I'm not going to let somebody else tell me how should
be raised. Right.
I discipline my kids, but you know what? Like I said, I believe in progressive discipline. All right. So I look at it from this standpoint. You're a kid, you're going to make mistakes, you're going to mess up. You know, sometimes it's because you just don't know. You know, sometimes, you know, especially with your sons, they little lion cubs. So they're going to get up once they start getting older, they're going to want to start testing the old lion. I told my son that's going to happen. I always keep my son in check with this. I tell him, I said, look, just remember this. You're going to want to test your mettle with me sometime, but just remember this. I taught you everything that you know, but not everything that I know. So I still got some tricks up my sleeve waiting for that ass. All right. So when you're ready, just know that. All right.
Right.
The progressive discipline. You tell him, all right, the first time, this is what you did wrong. This is why it's wrong. And we can't have that happen again. I'm giving you this pass this time. Because you didn't notice. But the next time, if you make the same mistake, there's going to be consequences.
There's consequences, right?
So the next time he came out his mouth, I stuck to it. So he walked away from me while I was fussing at him, and he went into his room and tried to close the door, and I pushed the door open, and he was like, why are you coming in my room? What you doing in my room? Why can't I just be alone in my room? And I was like, it was the tone he said it with, and the way he looked at me when he said it, and that was it. I was like, all right, I warned you about it. I warned you the first time. Now here come the consequences. You said your room, don't get it twisted. This is my room. And you're only here because I want you to be here.
Right. And
as a matter of fact, since this is your room, I'm taking it away. This is my room now. You know what? I'll give you, you can take the air mattress and you can put it downstairs in the basement. You can take one change of clothes, and that's what you're going to wear to school all week. And you're going to live in the basement until you decide you ready to come back upstairs and apologize and do what you're supposed to do.
Right.
This is your room. Everything in here is mine. I said, did you buy that? No, that's mine. Did you buy that? No, that's mine. So I'm giving you pick out one change of clothes, pick out one pair of sneakers, and you living in the basement on the air mattress.
Yeah. That sounds like a lot of my stories, right?
It's not a finished basement.
Right. No. That sounds like a lot of my stories. Yo, I was pegged as, strict. I was the bad guy. Somebody got to be the bad guy. And I said, I'm not afraid of playing that part to save their life. So if that keeps them out of the strip club, if that keeps them out of the fucking hospital, keeps them out of jail, keeps them out of I'll be the bad guy. Let me be the bad guy.
That's right. You know I do not mind that role.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I've never minded to save their life. And like I said, the kids won't understand at that moment, but they will understand when they get older. Because I understand now. I understand my mother. I understand Aunt Gloria. I understand Grandma. I understand Aunt Yvonne. All the shit I had aunts coming from left and right. Uncles, everybody was on. I didn't understand right then, but I understand now. And that's why I carry this to this day. And I respect whether I'm in a train or I'm on a bus or I'm on an airplane. I'm helping a woman with her. She's older. Ma'am, I get up out my seat, walk over there. If I don't see the guys moving, I'm going to put her bag up for her. Oh, thank you. Such a gentleman. No, I'm just doing my job. That's my job.
Yeah, that's your job. And as a parent, and I especially get flack from women when I say this, but you raise your kids to leave. It sounds crazy. It sounds mean, but that's what you raise your kids to leave. Okay, you don't raise your kids to keep them under this blanket of protection. You raise them so that they're able to survive once you're gone or once they leave the household.
Once they're on their own,
they have to be able to survive without you. So if you're not raising your kid to leave, you're not raising your kid.
Preparation. You're preparing them for the real world, right?
Right. And like I said, I catch a lot of flack from women when I say that, but that's the truth. They have to be able to survive when you're gone.
Exactly. Real shit. Like I said, we have some confusion somewhere in there because the parents are not following that progressive discipline. They're not being firm, fair, honest, and demanding. They're doing too much of the negotiating and stuff. And we got to end all that so we can have the power and have the control of our households as African Americans, white Americans, Latino Americans. We need to have the respect in the households. The parents should. And it should always remain that way. You're creating another you. Mm-hmm. And you have the opportunity to create a better you.
Right. Leave y'all with one last quote. Raising your child is like holding a wet bar of soap. If you squeeze it too hard, it's just going to shoot out of your hand. If you hold it too loose, it'll just slide away. A firm and gentle grip gets the job done.
Stop raising soft ass kids. Get the fuck out of here with all the freaking extra, sweetheart shit. Stop being a sweetheart parents. You did your job. They got a roof. They got fucking beds. They got fucking shoes, socks, all that shit. You ain't got to do all that for shit. If they not behaving right, they don't get nothing. That's it. You stop that shit at the door. If they eating oodles and noodles and that's what you can afford, then that's what you can afford. You don't got to feel bad. They got something in their belly. They good. You don't got to feel bad because this person can provide this. When you can provide it, you'll provide it. I know you a great parent. You know you're a great parent. You don't got to let your kids make you feel bad. They don't let that shit happen because you're losing your power doing that shit. So keep it real with yourself. Keep it true with yourself. Stop raising punk ass kids.
That's right. Don't raise them pussy ass kids.
Because we're going to be coming at you raw, hard, real, and unapologetic.